here and I search right now for, I don't know, towing Mesa. See the second one on here, if you can see that on the screen, it's kind of small, but it's toasting. It's around 4 o'clock, I can tell because my brain's starting to get soft and so my vocal cords are hurting. Towing Mesa AZ. Okay, so the AZ is definitely valid. Google is telling you that. Mobile mechanic. Oops. Mobile mechanic. For mobile mechanic, I would just keep it with mobile mechanic. I would not be looking for the AZ because Google is not telling you that on here. I would let Google tell you what to do next. Towing Phoenix. See on the Phoenix it has the AZ. That's the first suggestion that they have going on right there. So when Google shows you that that's the next most popular suggestion, then and only then would I go after the state name on there. But I prefer in what I do that I only go that route when I can't find my top level, either at .com, .net, or .org. When all three of those are gone, I'll check in Google to see if there's a state after it. If it comes up as a second choice, then I'll go for that one. Alrighty. Okay, so someone's asked here, I need clarification on the Gmail. When you change the phone number to the one same number, so when you change the domain name owner and show the same number over and over, won't that, no. Okay, so on the Gmail accounts, when we buy those in bulk, like 20 or 50 of them at a time or whatnot, just for the recovery part of it, we're just adding on there and it's just because we're dealing with masses of Gmail accounts and it's just easier for us. We're just putting in the same recovery email address and the same recovery phone number. The account's already been verified. It's already good. It's already good standing. Everything's fine with it. So we're just adding that in there, and we've been practicing that for since the beginning. We haven't had any issues with it. Good question. If I'm in Canada, do I have to change my browser settings to see accurate results? You can either do that, change your browser settings for just Google.com instead of Google CA, if you want to see the changes more accurately. It's not going to be that huge of a difference, because especially if you're typing in something, mobile mechanic, Austin. It's more than likely, even if you're doing that from a Canadian IP address, it's probably going to give you almost the same or similar results, or very similar, than from somebody sitting in Arizona or in Texas. Okay, but if you're worried about that, then you can just search by just regular Google.com, and you'll get a more accurate reading of that. Okay. Cool. I'll send it out later on today, Mario. I appreciate the support. Okay, good question on here. At what point do the number of backlinks to the competitors make a difference at all? I'm speaking purely from experience here on this, Ken. So this is no theory. In every niche where I'm either in the top 3, if not number 1, I have the least amount of backlinks of anybody on page 1. Time and time again. And the reason that I believe that is because of the on-page SEO the silo structures, the content, the posts, the how I teach all that stuff. And in local markets, everyone's site is so thin. There's just no real rich content on there. And Google digs that kind of stuff, so they're going to push you up to the top because they want to give their end user the best result possible. So it's like, okay, this is about mobile mechanics, great. Oh wow, and they got all kinds of other various original articles that are related to mobile mechanics, and no one else does. That's a better choice. We found that that's a better choice, and Google rewards us by pushing us up to the top. A backlink's still important, yes, but we don't need. Sometimes we need none. Sometimes we just need a few. So I don't put that into perspective there, and especially when you're coming at this from the exact match domain, top level strategy, it just almost makes it an unfair advantage. I think we did two kind of hot seats today, and both of them were in number one position, right? Because they follow that. And people do that all the time. They email me, they're like, hey, over the weekend, you got a regular job during the week. Over the weekend, I went out, I pumped out, eight of these sites according to the way you teach it in the course, and Wednesday or Thursday they're on page one. Okay, I mean, it just works, and it makes other sites that are on page one and how many backlinks they have irrelevant. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that the whole site is all kind of themed out. There's no question in Google's eyes that, hey, this is all about this particular theme. It says it in the domain, it's throughout the content, it's throughout the supporting posts and unique content that's in there. And that's really what Google's kind of always liked. Okay. All right, so Neil asked one here. It's a good question. Do you have a Google Analytics account for each site or combine them all into one account? That's a great question. Right now, we have them separate for each site. So we have a separate Gmail account and we have a separate Google Analytics for each of our sites. If you're just starting out, and you just got you're testing out 4 niches here, 4 niches there. Just make it simple for yourself and just put it all under 1 or 2, and just pound it out. That the most important thing is getting those sites up as quick as you can, tweaking it, getting clients in there as fast as you can. Then phase 2, where you're ready to expand out, I would recommend kind of diversifying that stuff out like we do. That's a good question. Do you compare SE Nuke to MS, which is Magic Submitter? They're kind of two different beans. If price is not a consideration, I would go with SE Nuke. It's especially in the last 3 months, it's got some really crazy stuff going on there. We don't emphasize that much onto it because we primarily go after niches that are easy to rank for, so we get speed to marketplace. Therefore, they don't need a whole heck of a lot of backlinks. So that's why you don't see a whole lot of that in the course. But if I had to choose between the two, and we do actually have both, by the way, I would, if I had one or the other, and money wasn't a concern, I would do SEO Nuke or SE Nuke X or whatever it's called now. I forget. Okay, what's the safe, proper way to switch between Google accounts? Dennis asks on here. I mean, if you want to be really careful about it, but we don't, and we haven't had any issues with it. But if you want to be really careful about it, either using Jet Cleaner, that's Jet Cleaner. If you just Google it, you'll find it. It's free. Or CC Cleaner. CC Cleaner. That's another free. It's a Firefox plugin. It just cleans out your cookies and your cache. And then you would take something like Hide My Ass, a basic account, which I think is like $5 or $6 a month. You change your IP address, clean out your cookies, and then log in to a different Gmail account. We haven't found that to be necessary, unless you're getting blocked out. I mean, I log in to my same IP address without cleaning any cookies or nothing on a daily basis, probably 10 to 20 Gmail accounts, seriously, just checking things and stuff. So I don't have any issues with that, and I don't really think you need to worry about it. I haven't had an issue with it, but if you do, that's what you do. Whoa, amazing. Jim says here, I finished the site last night and I was on page 1 this morning. And that's awesome, and thank you so much for sharing that. I really, really appreciate that. I actually videotaped this site, which took us 15 hours. It's actually in a pretty darn competitive niche, and it's $20 per click on Google, so it's a pretty healthy one. What the hell is it? Bail Bonds Henderson, and we got on here in 15 hours from start to finish. Bam! Look at that, and Google's indexed these pages for us. They like us that much. Look at this. They've indexed pages on here for us, and there's advertisers on here, all that kind of stuff, and so yeah. I mean, and that's a. Let me just show you in here. Sometimes that happens, and sometimes it doesn't. But the point is that you're going to end up ranking in maybe 14 days at the longest. But sometimes they just pop right up. Google just loves it. But see, it's good. It's got some decent searches to it. It's got some decent CPA. I mean, it's got it all happening. Tom asks on here, when we want to launch a site, what can we do to get it ranked fast? I don't know about Jim's who built it last night and got it ranked today, but I can speak for myself. We do nothing other than what I teach you. Nothing else. Nothing. That Henderson site, we did no backlinking at all on that. Okay. And when you've got the exact match domain, top level, it can be .org. I think that was a .org or .net. And you're adding content to it. This is what Google's clearly telling us. That's what they want. I mean, it's just. I mean, this is not black hat stuff. I mean, this is clearly what Google is telling us what they want here. And I want to search for it in a different. Browser that I'm not logged into. Yeah, see, it does the same thing here. It's like bam. It's like it's telling it. Look, someone comes in here, they go Bail Bonds Henderson. Which one just goes just screams right out at you because it's got these other in the index pages in here. And I'm not quite sure why that happens. We think it's because of the posts that we add. That's what I believe. And if these don't show up, then we get them at the bottom. So I'll take a stab here, and I'll just do mobile mechanic Chicago.